Buddy, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Politics with Sherry Jacobus. Thank you for subscribing. And if you just happen to find me from scrolling around and you like what we do here, I hope you help me out and hit that subscribe button. So we're still in the government shutdown. Doesn't have to be that way. There is a blame game going on. The Republicans are lying to the American people. Democrats are letting them. Again, we're not doing those daily press briefings that I keep talking about. We need to have the fact checking briefings in the same news cycle, same day. You get it. So now the Republicans are saying that people are going to be starving. There are 40 million people on the supplemental nutrition program, the SNAP food stamps. 40 million. 40 million Americans need help with food. Okay? Because of Trump and the MAGA Republicans in Congress, these people are now going without food. They have stopped all payments. It does not have to be that way. There is an emergency fund separate from the regular program where they can use this. This has nothing to do with the government shutdown. This is Trump and fake Christian speaker Mike Johnson lying to people. They want to see people starve. They want the pain to be there. They want you to see the pain with other people. They want everybody to see the catastrophe and the crisis. And they want to lie to you and blame Democrats. And they know the Democrats aren't really fighting back in any uniform, large way. They're not using their power. So that is why these people are starving. If the American people actually knew what was happening and understood that it was Republicans and were blaming Republicans, rightfully so, and Trump, they'd at least open up the emergency supplemental. That doesn't mean they even have to open up the government, and swear in the new member of Congress from Arizona who would vote then to, open up and release the Epstein files. That's what all this is about. So they literally, remember, Trump's MAGA Republicans have the House and the Senate and the White House. To blame Republicans for this? First of all, there's the emergency program. Now, this is what you'll find interesting. This just happened today on Friday. And I'm going to read this from you. It's a CBS News posting, but it's everywhere else. 2 federal judges on Friday say the Trump administration must tap into contingency funds to make payments for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program during the government shutdown, ruling against the government in a pair of suits over the imminent lapse of benefits. 42 million people rely on SNAP. So this was a case brought by a coalition of states in the federal court in Massachusetts. And so the judge said the government is required by law to tap into the emergency money to make at least partial payments so people don't starve. Okay. And gave the administration until Monday to tell the court whether it planned to do so. That's typical Trump, isn't it? And judges have to wait to see if Trump is going to follow orders. And then what? What if he says no, like he always does? Now, in Rhode Island, another federal judge granted a request for temporary restraining order from a group of municipalities and nonprofits who sued to block the imminent funding freeze. Now, here's the thing. This has nothing to do with the government shutdown or the reason why it's shut down. Again, this is just Republicans hoping and understanding that MAGA are kind of stupid and can't follow the bouncing ball and don't understand that Democrats are not the ones starving people. It is Republicans. Democrats are not the ones keeping the government closed. So Republicans can feed people. They want the pain. They want to see people hurting. They want to see starving children. And they can point to them and say, see, Democrats did that. And MAGA are so stupid, they will believe it or pretend to believe it. Now, this isn't a policy. This isn't a policy where they've decided we have too many people on public assistance, food assistance, and we want to phase it out. Because, again, all the gears have to work together. I mean, you have people working at Walmart who are on public assistance because Walmart, owners of Walmart, the oligarchs, they make all kinds of money and keep getting richer and richer and richer. You have people with full-time jobs, people who are working, who still need help. Because the federal minimum wage has stayed the same for I don't know how many years now, while rich people get richer and richer and richer. CEO pay, oligarchs getting richer, like really richer. It used to be in the 50s where And in fact, I was just having this conversation with Jonathan Larson. We just recorded my podcast this week over on Patreon. By the way, it's the same name as this, Politics with Sherry Jacobus. And we were talking about how in the 1950s, you could have a middle class family living on one wage, one job. They have cars, they have a house and a mortgage. They could send their kids to college. They could eat. They could take vacations. Can't do that anymore. And it's not because people are lazy and shiftless, just trying to be a drain on the federal government. A lot of people who work still can't afford food. That is not their fault. So even if it's a policy decision that you're making, you phase it out. You don't cut it off and starve people like this, like Republicans are doing. Maybe you can implement, a number of programs that all work together. The gears all work together. Raise the minimum wage, do some other things to help middle class families. If you really wanted to be like that in the 1950s, change the tax structure so the oligarchs are paying their fair share, because right now they ain't paying anything. We're still a wealthy nation. It's just only a handful of people have the wealth. And 42 million Americans now are going hungry. So I'm hoping that the people back home, the MAGA constituents, start seeing this. As I've said before, when it starts affecting people themselves, then they care about this stuff. So let's at least say, well, the MAGA fake Christians, the evangelicals, let's say they go to church this Sunday and their pastor is standing up there at the lectern and says, we need everybody to help our community. We have X number of people who are hungry and children because SNAP has been shut off. Their food assistance has been shut off by the federal government. Can you donate food? Can you give money? Then it becomes real. But right now, Trump and Republicans are lying. They're saying that this is because of Democrats. Well, Democrats don't have the majority, okay? Republicans are blaming Democrats for the shutdown. That's a lie. What Republicans are saying is, yeah, these people are starving because we had to shut off SNAP with it shutting down the federal government. We know now from these judges that didn't happen. There's an emergency fund. So that's a lie. And basically what MAGA Republicans want to do is say, okay, well, yeah, maybe we'll restore SNAP, but that's only, we'll open the federal government so that we can then cut your health care. You want to eat? You better give up health care. Those are the choices. They're giving Americans. That's what Speaker Mike Johnson, Donald Trump, and Republicans are doing. Making Americans choose between food and health care. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is posting pictures of the new bathroom that he's putting in the White House, all with gold. Oh, yeah. It's disgusting. I was looking at some of these pictures online. They're all gold. His fancy bathrooms he's building while Americans starve. And if Democrats had all that kind of power in the minority, Democrats don't have the White House, Democrats don't have the House, Democrats don't have the Senate. Oh, but they're the reason this is happening, right? If Democrats had that kind of power, then why is it all this money was sent, millions, tens of millions of dollars were sent to Argentina and Democrats couldn't stop it? So Republicans claiming that Democrats have all this power when it's something that's directly hurting Americans, that you can look your next door neighbor, anybody walking down the street, people in your community, you see them suffering. But when it's something else that they can hide, or if they want to take credit for, you can't have it both ways, Republicans. You can't blame the Democrats and then other times they have nothing to do with it. We see you. So it is my hope that this weekend, when MAGA evangelicals are in church, maybe for some of them, they'll figure it out. And maybe they'll call their Republican members of Congress and say, excuse me, this isn't what we voted for. I mean, I don't have a lot of hope for that, but I keep saying all it takes is a few. But I am still livid and furious that Democrats are not out there on a daily basis doing daily Democratic press conferences, press briefings from the Capitol building. I mean, I'm glad that Hakeem Jeffries is doing a few press conferences here or there, and people are doing their own thing. But you need to have that one voice, something on par with the daily White House press briefings in real time, same day. So you hit the same news cycle. So we don't have to go scrambling for information. People like me, people with podcasts and YouTube, and regular people out there just trying to change that one MAGA mind. Remember, if we can each change one mind, we win. You might know 10 MAGA and your friends and family, but you need to be armed with this stuff. And right now, we're on like a scavenger hunt on a daily basis, trying to find the people who have this information. Thank goodness we can see it on Twitter sometimes, except Elon Musk has suppressed everything. We need more than that. And it's not enough that Democratic leaders say, okay, they'll accept an invitation to go on like one of the shows on the cable news networks. That's great, but you have to already be watching that network. Why hand that kind of power and influence to TV bookers, even if it's a network you like? Why not control the agenda and the information every single day with a daily press briefing? I agree. Some of it's going to be difficult to speak with one voice on particulars in Congress, but a good press spokesperson, a good super staffer like a Pete Buttigieg or maybe a Tim Ryan, they know how to do it and still maintain the integrity of the briefing so it is a congressional function and worthy and fits into the beat of those reporters who are all housed in the Capitol. These reporters that are from all over the country. It's a way to go over the head of the national media, Fox News, CNN, and sometimes even MSNBC. Because you'll have a reporter in there that might work for, say, 5 radio stations and 3 newspapers in that region or that state, or then a wire service. And they'd be at that briefing every day covering it. Or if you have a pool camera, we could all watch it live streaming so we can immediately hop on social media. Instead of responding to what Republicans say, and then we're on the offense, or rather the defense, we should be on offense. Right now, Democrats are in a defensive crouch, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. Because this one is easy. Trump and MAGA Republicans are starving Americans, and it's their fault. They are choosing to do this, and it doesn't have to be that way. And most MAGA won't even know that these judges have made these determinations. But there you have it.